Welcome, John. Welcome, Sagar. Welcome, Lionel. Welcome, Jesus.
No problem.
Pretty
How you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I'm just under the weather because I came up with a staph infection over the past 5 days and
Oh, really?
6 days. Well, 7 days ago I had just started it. Got the infection and then I've been on antibiotics for 5 days and now they're reaping their toll on me.
Give it another few minutes and then we'll get this party going.
You want me to mute myself?
If you don't mind.
Okay.
Thanks, Tyler. Welcome, Camila. Hey, Chris. All right, ladies and gents, it's 8:05 Eastern Time. I guess I'll get the party going. For those of you who are new to this call, this is a networking call, specifically for entrepreneurs and people that are looking to get into business. This is not your typical coaching call where I'll be speaking most of the time. Hey, Philip. This again is a networking call, so we're going to be asking everybody to exchange ideas, share, collaborate, engage. This is really an open forum call. So basically, the way it goes is I'll be introducing myself, and then I'll be letting my co-host Brennan introduce himself, and then we kind of do a round table where everybody kind of introduces themselves, a little 30 to 60 seconds of your name, who you are, where you're from, what business you're into, we're looking to get into, and then we kind of open it up. We have kind of a subject of the week every week, and this week's subject is growth, collaboration, and expansion. And basically, we kind of get the conversation going from there. Rodolfo, welcome, brother. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Coach Rob. I'm a life coach. I'm a sobriety expert, 6 years sober personally, huge into fitness. The gym has literally saved my life. It's basically where I do most of my best work. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I've always been. Right now, my main source of income is Airbnb arbitrage, which is essentially where we'll rent properties on long-term commercial leases and flip them on Airbnb and make our profits that way. My wife and I have had this Airbnb business now for close to 6 years. We have just under 15 properties now, 14 properties to be exact. And we're looking now to expand into different countries. Right now, we're in just north of Montreal, Canada. And we're looking to expand in countries down south, such as Mexico and Costa Rica. Also in Europe, my wife is also Greek, and we're looking at some properties, potential properties in Greece. I'm actually taking a flight in a couple of weeks, and we'll be spending 2 months in Europe to take a look at the various properties down there. I also teach people to get into how to get into Airbnb arbitrage. I offer a paid webinar, which I do every couple of months or so. I just did my last one on August 8th and 9th, which a few of you were on the call. It's a 2-day webinar. It's a 2-day, but it's actually 2 hours per day over a 2-day span. And we really go over everything that you need to know in terms of what it is I do specifically with Airbnb arbitrage, but a lot more as well. We really touch on, what Airbnb is and different ways to make money on Airbnb, not just Airbnb arbitrage specifically. So anyway, if you're interested, you can reach out to me. You can DM me. So again, this call tonight is just all about networking, getting to know new people, getting to connect with new people. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my co-host. I haven't even talked about my community. My community actually reached 1,300 members today. It's been just over a year now. Literally August 6th of last year is when it was day one. We're August 12th today, so just over a year where we've reached 1,300 members as of a couple of hours ago. Super pumped about that. It's been a whirlwind. It's been unbelievable. School has been game changing for me personally. I've met so many amazing people that are on this call, specifically Brennan and I. We met on school a couple of months ago on another community. We've collaborated on multiple Zooms since then, and now we're looking to expand into in-person events. I've been running some local retreats. Our last one was a couple of weeks ago. I'm doing another one in October locally, and then we are co-hosting an event in Tulum, Mexico. Hopefully at one of my brand new properties down there, with one of the reasons why I'm looking to get into Airbnbs down there. So we already have set dates. January 13th to the 20th, 2026, we'll be down in Tulum for a retreat, which will be really revolving around high achievers and entrepreneurs. If you're interested, I'm actually hosting with Brennan on September 6th. We're hosting a webinar, and we'll go through everything you need to know about the event. And you could sign up. I posted it within the community, and by just simply signing up to the webinar, you guarantee a 10% discount on the retreat. If you're interested, sign up. You're not obligated to sign up to anything. If you show up to the webinar and it doesn't, you don't vibe with it, no worries, no strings attached. I would highly recommend at least you sign up to the webinar to see if it's if it's a fit for you, right? So again, without further ado, I'll move on and introduce my co-host, Brennan. Brennan, you there?
I am. Appreciate it, Rob.
Yes,
A lot
sir.
lot of exciting stuff going on, man.
Mhm.
Got Mexico, we got things going on in Canada, we got 1,300 Pure Life Mindset people hanging out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I tell you, I love it. Hey, for those of you who don't know, my name is Brennan Thompson. I'm I am a 30-year plus in business. It sometimes pains my heart to have to admit that, but I'm a survivor, so I guess that's good. A lot of that time was mixed between corporate roles as well as entrepreneurial roles. My most recent or my last corporate role was in global risk management, where I was in charge of running all the safety, security, risk management strategies for a global company at all of their global events. So best job in the world that I ever had. And 2 years ago, I left that job and didn't really have a full idea of what I wanted to do. But what I did understand was at the age of, I guess, 54 at the time, I did all the right things. I checked all the right boxes. I played by all the right rules. I advanced my career. I became well known in my industry and well respected in my industry. I was being, groomed to be the next VP at this company, and I was burned out. Didn't like it, and I looked around a lot of other people my age, maybe 10 years younger and 10 years older, that range of people, and kind of the same thing. And what I'm seeing is in this new world, this industry that we're, I mean, not this industry, in this world that we're in with technology, there's a lot of people in that 45 to 60 range who should be kind of happy that retirement's next, or at least on the horizon, and it kind of isn't. The game's changed, the rules have changed, and so I have dedicated my time to helping people get past that. Whether that means advancing in their careers faster, whether that means helping them find other streams of income, whether that means jumping onto school and starting a community like Rob has, like I have, like I'm not sure if anybody else on here has yet, but
Dolfo.
Rodolfo, I'm sorry, of course, Rodolfo's got two communities. We actually have two communities ourselves. We started the first one 4 months ago, Recreate, and started our second one about 2.5 weeks ago, I guess. I'll tell you, the part that we really unlocked quickly was engagement. Engagement is what fuels rankings. We got our first community to the top 1% in the money category in its first 40 days with 80 or less members. We got our second one to the top of the relationship category in 1 week. And currently, right now, 2 weeks in, we are at number 3 in that category. Also happy to say that 4 months into this whole game on school, we've also cracked the code on profitability. We're profitable as of a couple weeks ago, hugely profitable from what we spent. If we just look at our spend on school alone, and so I think that's kind of one of the things that people are kind of stuck on sometimes is, how do I get engagement and how do I get profitability, and can I do them both at the same time? And so I'm all in on school because of those reasons, because I kind of cracked that code, and that profitability really sort of aligns with what my business is. My business is called Point 8 Business Solutions, and the whole focus is there is with entrepreneurs and business owners. It's how to get profitable, because profits is the one domino that the domino's over. You figure out your profits, you can figure out most things in your business. When I was a financial advisor many years ago, and going through hard times, my branch manager, who was a very type A personality, would say, the answer to all your prayers is go out there and sell 2 more mutual funds. And he was kind of right. Just, you got to bring the money in. Otherwise your business isn't a business. It's charity, or it's a hobby, which are both fine. But hopefully, if that's what you're into, you have another way of making a lot of money, because the pain and aggravation is not worth it. So my goal here, I guess if you want to take one thing away from what does it mean to know Brennan, he cares about helping people achieve their dreams and getting to profitability in their businesses. And today we're talking about collaborations, which I'm really excited about, because that's really what's made all of this work. As Rob mentioned, he and I started collaborating early on. When you put yourself out there on a platform like school, I get reached out. I get hit up maybe, I don't know, 6-7 times a week from people asking to collaborate on things. And there's quite a few things that are happening right now that are really exciting. And so I think tonight's conversation, Rob, is timely, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you, and back to you, my man.
Yes, sir. Good stuff. And congratulations on that. That's amazing. Really good stuff. Happy for
Appreciate
you,
that.
man. You
Appreciate
put
that.
in the work. You definitely put in the work, guys. If there's somebody that put in the work that's showing up, you know, talking about collaboration, Brennan has definitely knows what the meaning of a collaboration, you know, from day one. I remember the first time we met on a Zoom, I was impressed by Brennan, and we've hit it off ever since. And you know, when I first started off my elite program, and I had a whole bunch of collaborators, Brennan will show it up to every single one of our Zooms, not only hosted by me, but all of the collaborators. He showed up to every single one of them. He really truly knows what collaboration means. And he really, I mean, school really fits nicely with Brennan Thompson, I think, and it's really starting to come to fruition right now. So I'm really happy for you, Brennan.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course. So before I forget, guys, I forgot to mention earlier, this is a networking call. So if you want to share any sort of emails, social media, anything, websites that you'd like to share within the chat, go right ahead and type that in. So we could each, so we could all follow one another. While we do that, I'm going to go ahead and ask everybody to one by one introduce themselves. Chris Martin, are you available to speak, my brother?
This is Shad. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. This is Christopher from Boston. I am a school power user, so I'm in Pure Life, and congratulations, Rob, on the 1 year anniversary and all the accolades. I'm also a member of Brennan's communities. I'm particularly enjoying Huru right now. Outside of that, I am in the recruitment space. So I'm Boston based and I work in IT and administrative recruiting. So you can find me on LinkedIn at some point. I will put my LinkedIn profile in the chat. And if you, a lot of people don't actually recognize me on school because I wear my NFT profile picture, which is a giraffe. So if you ever see a giraffe commenting on your posts, it is most likely me because most of the other giraffe community has pretty much left school. But appreciate you guys always holding the space and looking forward to the bigger conversation. So thank you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you for always being that, Chris. Camilla?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, hi. My name is Camila. I'm 19 and I'm from LA, and right now currently I'm studying onto my second year of college. I'm studying business administration and hoping to like get a degree off of that, my bachelor's.
Good stuff. So how long do you have left?
2 more.
2 more years. 2 more years. You got this. You got this.
Thank you.
Thanks for always being there, Camilla. I really appreciate you. Jesus, are you at work, brother? I think he is. Jesus, are you in a position to introduce yourself or not? I think no. Mr. John Andrews.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you, man?
My Wi-Fi is working. I got it working. I had to drop off a couple weeks ago. Generally, I'm busy at this time of the night on Tuesdays. I have a commitment in my church to work with the youth on Tuesday evenings, and so I'm generally busy. But we're going on a camp out this weekend, so we're not doing a Tuesday night event. So, anyway, my name is John Andrus. I live in a little town called Yukon, Idaho. It's in southeast Idaho. There's maybe 1,000 people in the town. It varies on whether I'm on vacation or not. It's that small. But I work at my full-time, my W-2 job is west of Idaho Falls. I actually work for the federal government, and it's out west of Idaho Falls where we take spent nuclear fuel from submarines and aircraft carriers, and we take care of it right there in the middle of the Idaho nothingness, a desert, I guess you call it. But that's where it's at. Anyway, that's my daytime job, but I'm in the process of building or writing a book, and it's written. It's called Rebel Wealth, the 12 Pillars of Wealth to Build a Life of Strength, Purpose, and Legacy. And
Amazing.
I was trying to, 2023, I met a guy that got me interested in some investments. And let's just say he's now in a federal prison for his shenanigans. And with it, took a lot of my money and a lot of other people's money. And so it took me to reflect quite a bit on the purpose of life, I guess you could say. And really, what does wealth mean? And so I come up with what I consider the pillars of wealth, 12 pillars of wealth, and I define those and I share stories from my youth. And it really kind of, that I'm happy to say I'm really excited about. And I've got this a book, and then I hope to get into a school community soon of my own, and then have even merchandise with logo on it, that kind of thing. Coaching, group coaching, all those kind of things, and just try and help men who are kind of stuck in life. Not necessarily those who have lost money, like I did. That was kind of my kick in the ass that just pushed me to do this. I've had this on my heart for a while, but it's gonna be a good thing. I've talked to a few people about it, and I've been told by several people that I've got something there, and that been forward. And so my wife Melinda, the beautiful thing she is, she's helping me, and we're gonna make this happen. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, sounds like you have a lot of things going on, a lot of positivity going on. Congratulations on the book. Is it
Thank you.
published yet?
Not yet. We're still, I've come to the conclusion I could edit that till forever. I need to just stop and say it's done and move forward. Every time I read it, I tweak a sentence, I add something out, and I think that's normal with everything. But I need to just draw a line in the sand and say I'm done. Time to publish. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's close. I need to put together that whole business plan and see how I can get myself on stage, on podcasts, on those kinds of stuff, and collaborate with others. And so I found you guys from a friend who was in a different group, or through that connection. His name is Greg. But anyway, I'm happy to be here. I'm super excited about the 3 groups that I'm involved with, you 2 guys, and I love the collaboration. I love the positivity. I love the just willingness to help, and you guys are always there, engaging. It's all positive, and that's awesome. I love to work out. I love that about it, and so yeah, I'm in the right place. I know I am with these 3 school groups, and but they kind of have their own thing, which I love, and so they're really helping me a lot.
Great stuff. Great stuff. When your book is published, please share with within our communities. Yeah. I definitely sounds like a very interesting book, and I definitely would like to support you on that. So yeah, I would be definitely interested in making a purchase there, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chris Shattuck. Hey, welcome, brother.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Sorry about being late here.
All good, all good. You did say you were going to be late, so it's all good, man.
Just on a little family walk. It's such a beautiful night, and so we had a little 20-minute window to go out and get some exercise. So I want to make sure I did that. So
nice.
Are we just introducing ourselves, or what are we doing?
That's right. Yeah. Just a quick intro.
Cool. Yeah. So my name is Chris Shattuck. I live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area in Minnesota, and entrepreneur, life coach, hypnotist. My business is called Freedom from Alcohol, where it's a 90-day program. We help people break free from alcohol, rewire their subconscious mind to change the way that they look at alcohol, and ultimately really up level their lives, get to the next chapter of where they want to go. So I love helping people do that. And it's been I guess the journey started about 4 years ago after I quit drinking. July 28th, 2021 was the last day that I drank, and then started doing this. We've helped a few hundred people now since then, and it's pretty cool to see, watching people transform their lives. And what I love about coaching is it's not me that's doing the work, it's them, and it's just kind of I get to guide and share what worked for me. And so it's pretty amazing to watch people get back to their true selves. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell, I guess.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Chris and I met on TikTok, I guess, just over a year ago. Chris didn't mention this, but he has just over 110,000 followers on TikTok, which is where I started following him, I guess, a couple of years ago. And I reached out to him just a while ago, and we've been collaborating on a few different things. Chris and I have collaborated on some lives on TikTok, and now we're looking at potentially getting into some in-person events, retreats, and whatnot, which I just mentioned earlier. So look out for that. Chris will be one of the collaborators on future events, not on the one in January, but one that we're looking at potentially in early spring of next year. So look out for that. Thank you, Chris, for introducing yourself. Feel free to put your socials into the chat box, excuse me, for everybody to follow you.
Yeah, right on. Glad to be here. Thank you. Will do.
Thank you, man. Felipe.
Hi, hello everyone. So my name is Felipe. So I am from Montreal, Canada. Um, I have been in the health and wellness industry since 2017. I started my journey as a occupational therapist student, and then evolved such as pretty much a health and wellness advisor who's now specializing in mental health. I am also very sticky guy, so typically I kind of feel stuff. I use all kind of resources that are out there, such as AI and beyond. And yeah, so I mostly help people to be able to improve their quality of life, their discipline, mindset, awareness, and yeah, also some tools, digital tools, systems, and whatsoever. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you for always being there. I appreciate you. Rodolfo,
Hey guys, how you doing?
good to see you, man.
Hey everyone, how you doing? So my name is Rodolfo. I'm a business owner from Mexico. So I have several or multiple business. One of them is electrical manufacturing for industrial businesses, and also I have a logistic one, and I have two school communities. One is for Spanish communities, which I help them with personal finances and business. And also I have another one that's in English, that's like more of a networking project. So that's me in a nutshell.
Good stuff. Thank you for introducing yourself, Rodolfo. Always appreciate your presence.
Yeah.
Sagar.
Hey guys, I'm Sagar. I'm new to this group. I'm also I'm not a addiction entrepreneur, but I'm I'm sober myself, so would like to
For you.
just let you guys know that. And I'm also I would like to help other people who are sober get sober. But yeah, my Instagram I started is called Conscious with Modi. I posted it on the in the business chat. Um am trying to become a spiritual coach, and I'm pretty new at it, so I don't really know how to. I mean, I know how to grow a little bit, because I used to be a comedian, and I grew my Instagram on my own on that one, but um my my yeah, I'm trying to grow my spiritual channel, and I just started it, so I'm just trying to grow it, and not sure how to monetize. I was thinking about like being kind of like helping other collaborate, just trying to collaborate with other
Mhm.
conscious creators, and that's why I joined school. And I joined like a couple of school groups already, conscious groups, and trying to network. And my daytime job is I work in a family business,
Hmm.
and we import dyes like colors from India, and that's great and it's good. So I don't act like I have that daytime job, and it's good. It's I do like it, we do well, so like I don't need to like make tons of money. I kind of just doing this for fun, but I would like to make some money on my own as well. It'd be nice. Um, but yeah, ultimately I do want to help the most people as I can
Mhm.
achieve consciousness, and achieve spirituality and consciousness,
Mhm.
and even help them with addiction.
Mhm.
And by the way, I did try hypnotherapy myself, but it didn't work on me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Congratulations on your sobriety. That's unbelievable. And if there's anything that we can do to help you grow your community or whatever you're working on, your IG, please feel free to reach out. We're here to help. So congratulations once again, and welcome to the community. Welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Good to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Tyler?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Tyler Schrock I'm not feeling very well today. I'm dealing with a staph infection and I'm recovering from, and the antibiotics are kind of whooping my behind. And but anyways, I'm 6 year. I have a 6 year old business in landscaping, and I'm looking to branch out and to scale that business. I'm also looking at some other avenues to get my message out there and to help spread spirituality, I think, and um, help people connect to their their spiritual drive that they have within them. Um, I'm not too sure what avenue I'm going to go down. Um, it's a new idea that I've been thinking about, and so it's real fresh.
Mhm.
Um, but I've got a chance to go down to Dallas to check out a landscaper webinar for landscapers to lean out their business, basically get standard operating procedures in, and
Right.
get the financials all in order, and get things figured out on that front. And it's
Mhm.
it, it's an awesome little opportunity that's dropped in my lap, and it's
Nice.
exactly the right kind of coaching I need, as well as all the other support that I have in my life. Glad to say I've got a couple weeks sober, and
Congratulations.
yeah, I'm feeling great about it. It's shifting my mindset around it is going to be key, and that's where other people come into play. And I've tried therapy, I've tried AA, I've tried all these different methods, and it's
Right.
only gotten me so far. I need to shift my mind around it.
Right.
And so there was somebody that was speaking about it, Chris, I believe. He may be a good connection for me. Sagar, you may be a good connection for me. Um,
100%. Chris could definitely help you.
mhm. So I live in Topeka, Kansas, middle of the heartland. Um, and just here to learn and develop and grow.
Great stuff. Congratulations. I know how difficult the first couple of weeks can be. It's definitely a challenge. It's definitely a grind. It's definitely not easy. I've been there. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was 6 years ago. So I know how challenging it is. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you're feeling like you have the itch or you need some support, man. Reach out to myself, reach out to Chris. Reach out. Basically, just reach out. You're not alone. There's a lot of people that are going through exactly what you're going through right now, that have been through what you're going through, and that can definitely help you out, brother. So keep on trucking, keep on moving, take it one day at a time, man, and you'll get there. You'll get there.
Hey,
Yeah,
Tyler,
thanks, brother.
real quick, man. I'd love to give you like free access to all of my materials. I have a membership portal that has like all the hypnosis, subconscious reprogramming. There's a ton of modules in there about mindset and stuff. I'm
Mhm.
happy to give that to you for free. So I don't know if you want me to give you my email address or however you want to connect with me. I'm happy to give that to
Yeah,
you.
but let me write down your email.
All right, lovely. I'll actually just put it right in the chat. That
Okay.
goes for everybody. If you're interested, I'm happy to provide that for you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in there.
Well,
No,
that's
no,
all
no,
right.
no. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, man.
Tyler, I can give you my number as if you want to just connect as a friend. I don't have any program for you, but
Okay.
if you want, you can just connect. I'll just put my number in the chat. You can
Okay.
contact me anytime.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Stuff,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dean, welcome, Dean.
Hey, I don't know if you can see me very well because I'm outside and it's getting dark.
It's all good. I can see a shadow.
I'm a retired Air Force veteran. I've been working in a salvage yard for the last 16 years as a general manager. And although I find my job rewarding because the pay isn't what's keeping me there, but I enjoy the interaction with all the people, the customers we get. I love sharing with people. I'm a rather political person, but I don't try to shove my way of thinking on anybody. I just want to, have a two-way conversation. I'm trying to get into something that I can build because, like a lot of the rest of you, I've lost tremendous amount of money trying to start something up. My wife's really kind of miffed at me right now because I pretty much wasted our 401k on a Bitcoin venture that turned sour. So I'm happy to have any input that I can. I spend so much time looking at Instagram and TikTok and WhatsApp, and I'm just like I'm running around in circles. I haven't even been able to start my first reel.
So what brought you to school? I believe you just signed up to Pure Life a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I signed up for school when I joined the 7-digit achiever program with Phil Johansson, and so that's how I got involved with school.
Okay.
I know there's other avenues out there to start working. It seems like everything I've been checking on, it's like, okay, pay me now and you can use it later.
Right. So you're right now you're kind of looking for your next opportunity, if I'm getting you right.
Right.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, you're in the right place, man. You're in a place where, you know, we share and network and you know, hopefully something maybe can come up, some ideas, some collaborations can come up. A ton of great people on this call, a ton of great people within our communities as well. So I think school is a great place to create, you know, genuine connections. Social media can definitely make you go around in circles, like you said, right? So glad to have you as a member of Pure Life and glad to have you on this call tonight. I appreciate you being here, man.
I wanted to get in on it earlier, but I didn't even leave work till 8 o'clock. So as soon as I got home, I turned you on.
Yeah, no, great to have you, man. Thank you for being here.
All righty. Thank you.
So that ends the round table. Brennan, I don't know if you want to get do you want me to start the conversation or would you like to go?
Why don't you go ahead and start it off, Rob?
All right. So basically our subject, our conversation tonight is growth, collaboration, and expansion, right? So basically Brennan and I kind of have we prepare questions for the group and we open it up to the group to start the conversation. So my question to the group is, if you could partner up or collaborate with someone on this call or within our communities, excuse me, what would you want help with? So like I said, anybody on this call or anybody within our communities, if you were to collaborate with them, what would you need help with? What are you looking or might be looking to collaborate? Something that you're maybe missing, a missing piece, something that you're struggling with in your business. Maybe you need help with marketing, you need help with sales, whatever the case might be. Is there anything that you're particularly looking for help with by being on this call?
Hey, this is John.
Can you go first?
Go ahead, John.
Hey, so back to my book. I'm looking for the least expensive way to publish a book. So I think it was you said you published one and you had a connection.
Yes,
but
I thought
I
sent you. I
You
thought I
did.
sent you that connection. Yeah, so it's Allison within Pure Life. She's in the top rankings. If you could easily
Okay.
find her, she's in the top 10 in the leaderboard on the 7-day or on the 30-day. Allison is a book publisher, and
Allison.
she's unbelievable. I can't give you any rates, but I know
Okay.
she's very, very good. And I would definitely recommend reaching out to her 1000%. So
All right. I
yeah,
remembered you did that, and then the question come up, and as soon as I said it, I remembered you. You
Yeah.
sent me a recommendation, so I will definitely reach out to her, and I appreciate that.
John,
and then,
I'm gonna connect you. I'm gonna connect you and Allison together because she's in all the communities. But I'll put a post and connect you guys so you guys have an easy conversation.
perfect.
there you
That's
go.
awesome.
Beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, beautiful. Good
And
stuff.
then soon, and I know both you guys are school masters, it seems, and so when I'm ready, I'll be reaching out for a little bit of help on that. So
Yeah, of course, definitely. It'd be a pleasure, man. Anybody else?
I would
Christian's
like,
got his hand up.
Christian?
thank you, Brendan. I would like to partner with Dean. First, I would like to say thank you for your service, brother. And the reason why I would like to partner you is because you have been taught the basic fundamentals through the Air Force. So I would like to partner with you on just personal self-development because that's where I'm at in life. I actually enlisted into the Air Force after I graduated high school. The Marshals, they were looking for my cousins, and they ended up telling me that I was lacking discipline, that I should think about the Air Force. So I enlisted in the Air Force Air Force. I was medically discharged. And so I would partner with you. You're someone who I would like to partner because you've been taught the basic fundamentals to like structure and like the basic fundamentals when it comes to personal development because uh I have an interesting story, but for the sake of time, I won't go down that avenue right now. And so like I am branding myself though. I am going to brand myself, and so I was going to school before I had an encounter with the marshals. I was actually in college, a community college, going for business administration, and so I've been learning about business administration, and I desire to brand myself and look where I invest. And so I would like to partner with you, Dean, and I do appreciate your service in the Air Force. So that like I can be structured and like I desire to become the greatest version of myself, and I would like to partner with you, Dean.
Good stuff, man. I like that. Good stuff. Chris Martin had his hand up as well.
Christian,
Oh, let me put on the light.
Dean, go ahead, Dean.
I would love to partner up with you, and we have a lot to share, and I think we can help each other out in this process.
That's awesome. Good stuff, gentlemen. You're both within Pure Life, so you can easily reach out to one another, DM each other within the community. Good stuff, gentlemen. I love the collaboration. Chris Martin.
Hey, what's going on? So I guess if we're thinking about growth, collaboration, and expansion, I don't have my own community yet, but just from being in several communities, I think what I'm feeling or seeing or kind of identifying as a need is that there's a difference between your follower count building an audience and actually building customers. So as somebody that's looking to start a community, it's really about, hey, if you're going to invest the time because it's a lot of time that you can spend on school, it's really about ultimately are there customers here and how do you find those customers? And, what's the starting point? Like, do you start out by creating a community and saying, hey, you guys are customers and that's the focus? Or what's that kind of flow to eventually build a community, but to make sure that community allows you to be able to support your business? So I think if I was looking for some help or insight, it would probably be around those distinctions of, hey, it's great to build your follower account. It's great to have an audience, but that's not your customers. Or am I thinking about that the wrong way?
I'd love to jump in on that.
Yeah, go ahead, Brennan.
So you're thinking about it the right way, meaning there are those segments, but to think that one is more important than the other would probably be the fallacy, because you need them all. You need the people who are going to join, because let's face it, social proof is important, and numbers, whether they should or shouldn't, numbers speak, right? So people see a community with 400, 1,000, 1,300 people in it, that gets some attention. Now, is there a big difference between 1,300 and 2,000? Probably not. Or 2,500, probably not. You get to a point where, what does it matter? And you can get to a point where it's too big. So you get to a point where, like, I see communities out there that are, 7,000, 8,000 people, and I've been in a few of them. I'm still in a few of them, and there ain't nothing going on, man. You got 7,000 people who aren't even talking to each other. And so, when I look at the engagement part of it, because that's just a key thing, and it doesn't take a lot. Like I said, Recreate got to top 1% with 80 members. and Huru Crew got there in a week with, I think, like 42 members, right? So it doesn't take 1,000 people to get that ranking. But you're 100% correct. Ranking is not money. Ranking doesn't necessarily help you, although you do get some street cred. So my particular approach was, let's get the engagement first, because what makes school, I think, different, and Rodolfo and Rob, you guys can chime in, and Chris, you know this, Chris Shattuck, you know this because you're huge on TikTok. What makes school a little bit different, because you're talking members, not followers, and there's a slight nuance to that. Followers, as Chris can tell you, he's got 100,000 plus followers on TikTok, but he doesn't have 100,000 plus buyers on TikTok, right? Same kind of thing, dynamic in your community, but you do have probably a better chance of maybe converting a member more than you do a follower. So there's a slight difference, I think. Like, one of the things I take pleasure in is seeing somebody who's been in the community for 3 months, 4 months. They're still level 1, 5 points to go. They haven't said boo, but then some post comes up, whether it's my post or somebody else's post, and all of a sudden this person shows up and they start talking, and they go from level 1 to level 3 in like a couple of days just because they said something. Now, they might disappear after that and not come back again, but I think the important part to the school platform is it's community first. And if you're not going to do the community stuff, then go build your buyers somewhere else. Like, you don't need to put them on school because it's a lot of work. So you got to go in with the idea of community first. And I think you need to focus on engagement. Otherwise, you're not really a community. You're just a room full of people. So that's my 2 cents.
Curious to know Chris's perspective on turning followers on TikTok into buyers. What was the strategy and what were the struggles? Did you come up with something, right off of the bat, or it's kind of something that you've evolved over time, and you like, how did that process work for you?
Yeah, it's interesting because I really I didn't plan on being on TikTok or getting all these followers. I just tried it one day and I liked the format. It worked for me because I'm a better just turn the camera on guy and speak than I am writing something out and posting fancy pictures with B-roll and all that kind of stuff that kind of comes with some of the other platforms. So that's just kind of what I started doing, and really with no intention to grow that many followers. I just wanted a place to learn and make mistakes along the way and not have to be perfect. And that's what worked for me. And I think that's what helped, was not really having like trying to build a community off the bat, but just like a place to share my story and for the people that resonated with it to, join. And so it just kind of got bigger and bigger. And, I do have a Facebook group. I don't have a school community, but I started it 4 years ago, and so it was a Facebook group back then, and there's about 3,000 members in there, and so I've funneled some people from TikTok to there where I can have more conversations with them. It's easier on that platform than it is to have conversations with people on TikTok. But I don't know. I guess I'm not exactly sure. It really all kind of happened by accident, and then I took what worked and doubled down on that. So my posts that weren't polished and were just authentically my story, or, these kinds of things that could give people helpful advice on quitting drinking or mindset or whatever, those are the ones that took off. So I just did more of them, and I guess when I try to do the fancy hooks and what everybody says to do, those really don't work that well. So I'm not sure if that really answers the question, but I would say 95% of the people that have come into my coaching community have been from TikTok, and most of them have been following me for a while. So it doesn't happen right away. It takes a while for them to kind of warm up and build that know, like, and trust factor. So
Yeah, because I noticed that on your TikToks, you don't really have like a call to action or anything. You kind of just speak from the heart. You let everybody know who you are and what you do, obviously, but you don't have like a call to action where you say, well, sign up to my this or whatever, right? You kind of just speak your thing and you allow people to follow you and then they could click on your link within your profile, right?
Yeah, and I've kind of gone back and forth on that because a lot of people will use like a lead magnet or for something, and I've done that a little bit. And I guess I kind of have something like that. I basically have what's called a VSL, a video sales letter. It's like a 10-minute long video on my landing page that explains my process of how we help people, stop drinking, rewire their mindset, all that kind of stuff. And so my call to action on some videos, not all, I don't want it to come off salesy, but at the end of the day, you have to let people know what you're doing. Otherwise, they have no idea. You got to push them somewhere to tell them, hey, this could be a solution for you, right? So I'll just say, you know what, go check out the link in my bio for, to get started or to learn more on how we help people or something like that.
I completely agree with Chris there. Like I noticed that with my ads and how I present myself on the Nextdoor platform, it depends on whether or not the people are going to follow or not on my profile, and ultimately lead to somebody wanting to buy my services. Most of the time when I come authentic, I'm not really pushing a deal or trying to. I just like present the problem and then give them the solution at the same time, and then leave it open ended. And if they want to get in contact with me, they will. You know. So
yeah, I think that the common thing, whether it's on social media or school, is really the importance of being authentic, right? Just authenticity. Whether it's in a community format or on social media, just shooting videos. I think people want to connect with people that they like. They want to buy from people that they like. So authenticity plays a huge part in any, format, even in person. Obviously, you have to come authentic, right? If people will eventually read through your BS, right? So I think that, if you're starting an online presence, don't pretend like you're something that you're not, right? Just be who you are, and you will find, people will find you. The right people will eventually find you. Obviously, you have to fine tune all of the systems and everything to make sure that you kind of, make sure that you convert as many buyers as possible. There's a system that goes into that, obviously, but I think that just by being authentic and being yourself, your buyers will eventually find you, So
Yeah,
I think that's important.
if I can add just real quick there, what came up for me was, I mean, there's a lot of noise out there, right? Everybody's talking about something, and if you are authentic, then the right people will find you. And so that's something that I have had to work on, is really figuring out, well, who do I really love working with, and just speaking to those people. And in the past I was very broad, just kind of talking to everybody. And that's the way, I guess, what helped grow the followers and stuff. But at the end of the day, I know that my message isn't going to resonate with everybody, and that's okay, right? It's more so I want to help people that I can relate to and that can relate to me. And if other people that can't still get value out of it at the same time, that's kind of been my approach. So
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
It's great that you say that, Chris. I want to kind of follow up on that because we were talking about this last week, I think. Hermosi and Sam were talking about that very thing, and Hermosi was saying that, it's so much different now than it was 2 years ago, right? Like 2 years ago, you had a lot of people who were doing mixed content, just kind of throwing whatever they could out there on social media, trying to, use that big net, like you're talking about, get that reach. And now it doesn't help you as much. And the algorithms are so much more in tune that I think that the example that Hermosi used was, if you're a person and you're selling something to fishermen, right? Don't try to attract everybody, and don't look for a million views, because there's not a million fishermen. There's 100,000 of them. And so get really specific with your message, like you were saying. And the algorithm is so good now that it will go find the fishermen for you. Like, you don't have to reach anymore like we used to.
Mhm.
And I think that kind of takes me to the question. I think this is part of what Rob was asking originally, but and I don't even know if you could even do this on TikTok or how much analytics you get. But along the way of your growth, did you get to a point where it's excess, I guess is maybe the question, right? Like how many followers do you think you need that would still convert and give you the business and the revenue and the profits that you're looking for?
You're asking me?
You're the guy with you're the 100,000 follower man. Unless somebody else wants to speak.
That's really interesting because I think even before I had 10,000 followers, I was getting clients. So it hasn't really, with the amount of followers that I've gotten, it's not like it's dramatically increased the amount of customers I've gotten or clients, whatever. Because I just really kept it simple in the beginning, and I just had literally a Google form as my link to like, hey, if you're interested in working with me, go fill out this form and see if we're a good fit. And that was just such a simple, easy way. There wasn't any landing page. There was really nothing, right? Before I even had like a fancy website. Now that my website's fancy or landing page or any of that is fancy now, but it was just really simple. And sometimes just yesterday, I was thinking about kind of just going back to a simplified method. But it doesn't correlate. So now that there's like 120,000 followers, it's not like all of a sudden I'm having all these more calls coming in. So yeah, I don't think it really matters necessarily, right? You just got to find your pond. And once you do, you get the people that really resonate with your message. And that's the way to grow a community of like-minded people that you really want to be working with anyway.
So do you think there's any downside to having, that might sound like a crazy question, but any downside to having a huge following on social media?
I don't think there's a downside because I think it does give you credibility. If 120,000 people are following you, that must mean that your message is hitting with a good amount of people, I would think, right? But I've tried to grow on Instagram as well. It's basically, there's a lot of the same similarities, but it just hasn't worked as well there. So with TikTok, I will say the algorithm is insane. And people tell me that all the time when I get on sales calls with them. They're like, I watched one video about alcohol that I didn't even know I was really having a problem with, but TikTok seemed to know. They got in my head, and then all of a sudden I got shown your videos all the time. And
interesting.
So it really has helped on that platform. At the same time, I always wonder, like, maybe I've been fishing in the wrong pond, because it's like maybe my ideal clients aren't necessarily on TikTok, because it is a younger skewed platform, no doubt, although there are a lot of people that aren't putting content out on TikTok, but they're watching the content. So I'm getting people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that find me on TikTok, even though you wouldn't really suspect that. But again, I don't know if that's where my ideal client is really hanging out. So that's something I've kind of wrestled with as well.
And that's really interesting. Because I'll just real quickly, I'll say the Chris Tierney has very similar results. He's not quite as big as you yet, but I think when we were first talking about, Chris was like at 11,000, and he's crossed over the 20,000 now, and that's like in less than a month. So picking up steam, but we use the same. Chris and I use the same marketing guy. So the guy who's kind of behind Chris's stuff is now helping me. But he was telling me that the same thing happened, right? He was expecting that Instagram was going to be the hit for Chris, and it just didn't do it, and TikTok just took off. So
yeah,
I don't know.
hard too.
Got me thinking I need to put on my dancing stuff and go out there and do some TikTok dances. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think either Chris is dancing at all on TikTok. I haven't seen them dance.
I might have danced once in one video back in the day. It wouldn't have been a good dance, I'll tell you that.
We're gonna find it. We're gonna find it, and we're gonna bring it forward.
You'd like to interject something?
Sure.
I never really worried about a following. I was on Twitter, which is now X, and I use WhatsApp because that's what the boss wants to use to message back and forth. But I didn't like Facebook, and I didn't like TikTok because of who was running the show on that. But I think Zuckerberg's finally got his head out of his rear end, but I've already, just by joining Instagram, I reconnected with family that I haven't talked to in years. I got a sister and a brother. They're both from different wives or mothers, but they're out in California, and so it's hard to correspond and touch, and it's really been great to do that. I seemed like when I was on X, I was following more people than were following me. I mean, people like what I have to say. They'll make comments to the fact, but they don't want to go that extra step and follow me. So,
Yeah, X or Twitter is not. I've never dabbled in it at all. Like, I still haven't figured out how to even freaking use it. It seems complicated. I never actually jumped on or even created an account.
well, I joined Gab and I joined Rumble when Twitter was having all the problems with people my ilk. I'm conservative by nature. Some things I'm liberal on. I mean, I'm a independent. So I don't know. I think I can connect with people, and they'll be able to connect with me because I'm 66 years old and I've been around the planet a few times. And I've seen parts of the world that most people don't get a chance to see. Some of it I wish I wouldn't have seen, but
Yeah.
But I just like being with like-minded people because you feel so downtrodden when you keep getting taken, and that's where I'm at right now.
So, Dean, what bases were you at during your Air Force career?
Oh, I was all over the place. I went from Shepherd at Tech School to RAF Fairford in England, then went back to Shepherd. I wasn't even there a year. Got an assignment to Shaw Air Force Base.
Nice.
In '89, I left there and went to Hahn, Germany. Spent more time TDYs than I did in Germany. And then while we were over at Desert Storm, the other two squadrons had transferred out. So when we came back, there was just us. We had to transfer our airplanes and get assignments. So my German tour got cut short by a couple of years. Of course, my wife really appreciated me leaving her in a foreign country while I went off to play. But after Germany, we got stationed here for South Florida. And after doing a tour as a FTD instructor, I went to Korea. And that assignment got curtailed because my mom ended up terminally ill with cancer. And so I got reassigned to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base as an information manager, which was pretty strange to me. But my duties there was I was the person that would clear public information. Say you're a company and you want to release a pamphlet or release a paper, you'd have to come through our office to get approval first. And then all I did was send it out to the different, they call them SPOs, the people that are responsible for these programs. And when they get approved, I just write them a letter and say, hey, you're good to go now. And if they didn't have approval for some reason, I'd let them know what was the problem. And then, but one of Patterson's sons were down here in Georgia because she was in a nursing school and couldn't just leave that. So after about 18 months, I got reassigned back to Moody, and that's where I retired from.
Moody, okay, cool. Well, you were in much longer than I was, but I started off obviously Shepherd and spent some time in Altus, Bergstrom, stationed at George up here in Victorville, California for a while, down in Marsh and Norton, and more TDY than I can ever imagine. I was a flyer on 141s, and So my
Yeah.
time during Desert Storm was great because we could never stay in country that long. So we'd fly in, drop our load off, and then we'd go hang out in either Germany or hang out sometimes in Korea, Guam. So yeah, but it's a time on my life that I miss a lot, but I'm also glad that I got out too. So I don't know where I land on that. But thank you for your service. Appreciate you.
Thank you for yours. I got out in 2001, but I was working for a government contractor on the T-38s that were stationed at Moody at the time. And that lasted for a few years, and then the Air Force in their infinite wisdom decided to draw down that, and those planes went everywhere. And I'm like, I'm not chasing contracts for the rest of my life. And as luck would have it, a good friend of mine who was managing the salvage yard ended up saying, I quit. You know, I've had it. I've been here 20 years. I want to move on. So I just walked in and took over his position.
Cool.
Which wasn't that big a deal because I was already pretty much there all the time anyways.
For you non-Air Force folk, the T-38s are one of the first fighter or first jet that fighter pilots get assigned to when they're learning. So it's a cool little looking jet. It's sleek looking. It's small, but it's still kind of cool. T-37s first and then T-38. Anyway, appreciate the walk down memory lane. Thanks, Dean.
Good stuff, gentlemen. Brennan, would you like to move on with your question for this evening?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to take a dealer's choice on this because I like your question. I'm going to kind of tie mine into that. So Rob was talking about who will you partner with, who would you collaborate with, either on this call or anybody. And I'm going to tie my question into that one because I'm kind of wondering, as you think about collaborations and who you want to collaborate with, is there a strategy behind that? Is that collaboration tied to a reason that's deeper than, oh, I just see so and so doing this and I want to go do it with them? Is there something more behind it? And so the question that I had was, what's an area of growth or expansion that you're pursuing right now, and why are you pursuing it? So maybe take that question, but kind of also tie it into, does that have any play in how you choose or who you choose to collaborate with? We're going deep, people.
Deep question, yeah. Anybody?
Yeah, Brennan, that's like what I'm doing right now, because I'm in the early stages of like reaching out and finding different life coaches and different coaches in different areas. And I don't want to run around willy-nilly picking a bunch of people and just like seeing who I can collaborate with all at once. I need to kind of narrow in, like, where's this person going to help me? How can they help me? What growth sector in my life do I need to grow in to get to the next level? And it takes a little time of listening to people and seeing if what they're saying is clicking. And I think there's time for growth, and there's time for rest, and there's time for thinking and contemplating and analyzing and making a plan. But always, I like what you said the other day about, throw away plan B, just burn it, because just go all in on what, it just aligns right with where I feel in my life. And it's been a beautiful thing. So I'm on the right track. I know I'm going to find the right person. I'm going to connect with Chris. Yeah. It's just a matter of, I think I need help in a couple different areas. And, so if I can hone in on what that other area is, because I've got some personal development I need to do. I've got some business development I need to do. I need to, it's a couple different things, and it's just a matter of finding them. So I appreciate you guys being here.
I appreciate you being here. So you're basically basing your collaborations based on your weaknesses or areas that you need to work on, and you're being intentional with your collaborations that kind of align with where you need help with.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Chris Martin, you had your hand up as well.
Yeah, definitely. Before I lose the thought, I was just saying, I've heard Tyler talk a couple times, and I don't know if he's connected to Cameron yet, but Cameron Staples runs a faith-based community. And when I think of the larger question around the strategy behind collaboration, I look at it as complementary versus gaps. So if Tyler were to connect with Cameron, I see that as complementary, right? They're both into the faith space, and it's a tough space, right? Because it's usually a brotherhood of men. So you're cutting off, a lot of the audience from from school, right? Because you're focused in on a core niche group, right? Which has its challenges. For me, I kind of look at gaps, right? So when I think about collaborating, and to answer, or at least try to answer Brennan's question around collaborating, for me, it's really how do you leverage somebody's audience so it's beneficial, right? So if somebody has built an audience and you want to leverage that, it's not your audience, right? So you have to say, okay, well, here's the vibe of this community. How does what I do fit into that? So it's basically something that helps everybody versus kind of coming into someone's house and just, trying to cannibalize,
Set up shop.
the
Yeah.
community that they've built, right?
Mhm.
So I think it's a fine line between, hey, is what I'm doing helpful, and am I seen as a collaborator and partner because that helps everybody, or am I basically, helping, not helping folks? And it's been kind of interesting to see it play out sometimes where, sometimes the when it's too complementary, it seems like it ends up bumping heads. But I think to answer your question, Brennan, I guess my strategy would be, is there a gap? Because if there's a gap, do I offer a solution to that gap?
Yeah, no,
Stuff.
that's well said. It's I tend to be the same, I think. I look for the gaps. I mean, I think what Tyler was talking about it might be important to kind of understand sort of maybe some nuances, some differences between that, because I think Tyler's looking more at that mentor level, right? That mentorship level, which is a collaboration by all means. Maybe not in the same way that we think about it when we say, okay, well, how are Rob and Brennan going to collaborate to go build something? And I think what Chris was saying in that sense definitely makes sense. Is what does one bring that the other doesn't? How do you fill that in? You guys might not know this, but when we first started doing these, the not so much this call, but the Success Saturdays call that we do, and kind of it was started off as a little bit of a joke. I mean, we were already kind of collaborating and doing videos. I mean, not doing videos, but doing Zooms. I was doing Zooms in Rob's group, but we were on a Zoom. I think it was actually Rob's Zoom, and it was very obvious that he and I have a lot of similarities, but some very different takes on some things too, right? And so on the call, it was almost like the in this corner, Coach Rob, and over in this corner is Brennan, and it made for a good dynamic because we get to the same place, I think, right at the end of the day. The avenues of how we get there are completely different. And I remember I had a boss, wasn't my boss for too long. We were actually arch enemies at one company. And then he left that company first. I left it later, but we ended up at the same company. I ended up working for him at the last company I was employed at. So he was my boss for maybe a year, and then we were peers after that. But we had this conversation, and we got along at that point pretty well. I mean, we could joke around with each other. but it was interesting. I think the line I said was, we pick up, like, we might read a book and get the same information out of that book, but the reason we picked up the book in the first place is night and day. And I think that kind of addresses what Chris is talking about with those gaps, right? Like, Rob and I are probably going to get to the same point. We would probably offer very similar advice. Our styles are going to be different for sure, but the reasons of why we are even in this space are probably night and day. And so I like that gap mention that you said, Chris. It just makes a lot of sense. And then, kind of to Tyler's point, you know, I learned this the hard way many years ago, where I learned about getting mentors, right, which is different than getting a coach, right? Getting mentors. I learned about that probably in my upper 20s. And I started going out, and I was, you know, no shame to my game. So I was going out. You're the CEO of a $5 billion company. Great, you're the guy I'm looking for. I'd walk in it all. I had no shame and no fear. And so I walked into the CEO's office, and he liked me from the standpoint that I had the gusto. But here was his question to me was, what's in it for me? And until he asked me that question, I never once thought about it from that standpoint that, you know, fuck, man, mentors want something out of the relationship too. Like, they're not just some altruistic people running around that just want to give their time and give their advice and give their wisdom. They want something from that relationship the same way you do. And so, as the mentee, you got to kind of figure out what that thing is. And I'll tell you, I never thought about it that way before he said that. But the moment he said that, I've never thought about it differently. So that collaboration with the mentor is really, it's really an important thing.
Interesting stuff. So for myself, I kind of have like two distinct strategies. One, to Brennan's point, I kind of like to collaborate with people that have the same type of mindset as I, but come with different perspectives, you know. The younger Rob would kind of be the know-it-all kind of guy, thinking that he knows he has all the answers, right? But the older, more mature Rob realizes that it's important to have different perspectives, right? And to bounce ideas off of people. So I like to really have conversations and get different ideas from people, bounce ideas from people, because I might see things one way, and, you know, after a conversation, I can have, you know, 2 or 3 different avenues that I can look at. So, you know, having conversations like that really can be eye openers sometimes. And the other strategy is, you know, from an entrepreneur standpoint, it goes from, I posted about it the other day, basically hire your weakness. You know, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, your job is not to be a master at everything. Your job is to know your strengths, play to your strengths, know your weaknesses, and surround yourself with people that can help you with your weaknesses, right? You're not supposed to be the know-it-all. You're not supposed to know everything. You're supposed to know a little bit about everything and hire the right people that help you grow, right? You're kind of like a general contractor. You know a little bit of everything, but you're hiring the electrician, you're hiring the plumber, you're hiring the carpenter, because those are the those are the professionals within their particular niche, and you need to surround yourself with these people. So identifying your weaknesses and finding people that can help with those weaknesses, right? So those are kind of the 2 strategies that I use when I collaborate with people. And I use this in school, I use this in my businesses, and it's worked well so far.
I love that. You know, I'll just piggyback on that real quick, because I think I commented on that. And, you know, definitely, if you're weak at something, don't take the time, especially if you're running a company, right? Don't take the time to try to learn that thing, hire that out, like Rob says. So definitely hire out what you're weak at. But here's another way to think about that is it's not just your weaknesses you're hiring out. It's the things that don't align with your position, right? So quick story. So when I first started at this last company, and I was a senior manager at the time, and my boss was a director or senior director, whatever it was, and his boss was a VP. So there was something that happened, some minor little stupid thing that happened on the site. Some other VP from some other department saw something and sent an email to our VP. Our VP then sent me the picture of the incident, but blind copied me on the email, didn't include me, right? And it was almost like this idea of her peer tells her something. She wants to tell him that it's all taken care of. She blind copies me on it with no instructions. I had no idea what she was talking about, right? So I email her back. I'm like, hey, Jana, what do you want me to do? And then she went to explain it. And this is kind of why I got promoted and started reporting to her and skipping my bosses, because nobody told truth to her, right? And I said respectfully, and by the way, I knew her because she worked at the previous company too. So that's where I knew her from. I said, Jana, no offense, I get it, but I got to tell you that's just the most backwards ass way of doing something, right? It's not your it was something like to do with like an open gate somewhere. It was something really low level, something that I wouldn't even deal with because I had guards that worked for me that they would go deal with it, right? And so I told her, I said, Janet, you gotta put things at the right level. Like, I get it, it was a VP. So tell that VP that you're contacting me and to leave you the fuck alone. Excuse my language, guys, but it's just stupid, right? Like, why are two VPs talking about an open gate? Like, can you think of a worse use of your time? And I really laid into her like, this is just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So now we're having this conversation. It took you 10 minutes to figure out how to get it to me, when you could have just told the VP, call me. And at the company I was at before, it was a utility company, and she was our big boss then. I had the chance to build out this huge operations center, right? We were it was the security control center for a 50,000 square mile territory for Southern California Edison. And we built this out, and I got to be known as the guy, right? Everybody in the whole company, when you need this, Brennan's the guy. But I had 20 people that worked for me, 20 people that worked for me in a state-of-the-art operations center. And they're calling me at home at 11:30 at night because something went wrong. And I'm like, guys, we're paying these people a lot of money to sit in this multi-million-dollar room with all the alarms, lights, bells, whistles, and cameras. Freaking call them. Like, that's your people. And so, like, to Rob's point about the post, the thing that I said I would hire out is sales and marketing. And it's not because I don't like it. I've been in sales and marketing pretty much my whole career up until I was in the risk management business. So, 20 plus years. I'm pretty damn good at it. I can sell ice to an Eskimo, but it's the stupidest thing for me to do. And so for any of you who are going to be going to some kind of business, and maybe you're going to have like you're a solopreneur, or you're the person, logic would say you're the best person to sell your stuff, right? Because it's you're the product. But that's the problem. You're the product. You shouldn't be selling it. You cannot be the subject and the object at the same time. Let somebody else sell you. If like, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm a speaker. That's what I do. That's how I make money. I can't be the one selling it. Like, me selling it is when you get on the phone with me, or you get on a call with me, or when I get on stage at your event, or when we do a one-on-one in person, whatever it is. Me delivering service is how I continue that sale. But that sale shouldn't come from me. It's the wrong job at the wrong level. Somebody else needs to be doing it. And so don't think of it only as the weakness, I guess. Think of it also as, the thing that you shouldn't be doing because it's better suited elsewhere.
Yeah, and you got to play to your strengths. You do what you do best, right? Focus on what you do best and let the others worry about the rest of the stuff. If you're If you're the handyman, you be the handyman. If you're the coach, you be the coach. Do what you do best and hire out the rest, you know? Don't try to do everything at once. It's just not gonna work out. It's just not. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Anything they'd like to add on to that? No? That's it for tonight?
Look at that. We wore them out. Look at that. They're like, they're speechless. They're speechless, Rob.
Speechless.
I'm just
All
here
right,
to learn.
ladies and gents, well, go ahead, Dean.
Well, I know I've had a long day. It's
I'm
been
just here to learn.
one after another.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Definitely been a long day. It's 9:30 here, so definitely late out west a little bit earlier, but yeah, it's definitely long days for me as well. Good. Did you have something to say, Steven?
No, I was just saying it's been a long day. I had a doctor's appointment after work, and then I had another Zoom meeting before this. I had to be on for the last one of the program, and then I jumped on here, and it's just I did yard work. I've done I'm done.
You're nonstop. You're nonstop, Steven, man. Wow.
I'm done. I'm tired.
Yeah. I hear you.
It's hot as
All
hell
right,
here.
guys. Sorry?
It's hot as hell here.
Yeah,
Real hot.
it's hot up here too, man. It's been hot. I think it's been a hot summer everywhere, I think, in North America this year. It's been crazy hot. Humidity. Sorry,
The
Taylor.
humidity. Oh,
Tyler?
God, yeah.
Oddly, it's odd weather here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's
We haven't
it's
had-
oddly cool for a few days and then insanely hot for a few days. And
Really?
yeah,
We haven't
Where you
had
at?
rain in about 2 weeks here, which is very uncommon for us. And yeah, forest fires all over the place. It's not fun.
You can have our rain. I've had enough of it.
Oh, yeah? You've had a lot
It
of
rains
rain?
every day. In the summer in Florida, it rains every day somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, same in Georgia.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
It's humid.
very humid. Georgia is too. I lived there for 3 years.
Georgia's a beautiful state.
I love it. I'd go back there in a heartbeat. Loved it there.
Oh, yeah?
The people are awesome. The people are so friendly and nice and true
Yeah.
Southerners. It's a good experience.
Mm.
It is.
Definitely.
Yeah, even
Nice.
the transplanted Yankees.
Hey, you guys have a good night. I gotta get off here and make some dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm gonna close up now. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here. It was a great conversation as usual, and we'll be in touch within our communities, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
See you.
everybody.
Good night.
Take care.
Bye bye.